Hello everyone, today I will showcase a team that consists of Lapras as a lead, Alolan Muk as a safe switch, and then Machamp in the back. And the point of this team is that a lot of people like to safe switch into Snorlax, and then Machamp can almost be an instant game winner. And another good thing is that these three can all deal a chunk of damage, even against their counters. So when you happen to get in a bad matchup, you can just choose to not shield anything and deal a chunk and then farm down with another Pokemon to have an energy advantage in the next matchup. So let's get into the battles. My first opponent is N16 and he leads with Ampharos, so I'm absolutely hard countered and I need to switch. So I make one Ice Shard to not lose any fast move turns, and then I say switch into Alolan Muk and my opponent switches into Charizard. So this is suddenly great for me, because the Sludge Wave will deal enough to take him out with some extra snarls, and he's even baiting me. So now I will either have the switch advantage or a 2 shield advantage. So he lets me get the switch advantage, and now this is crucial, because now my Lapras doesn't have to go up against the Ampharos. So I expect the switch, but it's not coming. He goes for another charge move, and then he switches into Gyarados. So I stay in for a while to get up to 2 cross shops, and then I switch into Lapras, and I go straight for the Ice Beam, because this will almost take it out. And then now I'm one less Ice Shard to go to the Ice Beam. And here my opponent does not shield this, which is the correct play, because if that had been a Surf, then he could have farmed me down and double Thunder Punch my Machamp. So well played by my opponent. My next opponent is SG Kinglo, and he leads with Magnezone against my Lapras, so this is terrible once again. So I make one Ice Shard before switching into Alolan Muk, and I go straight for the Dark Pulse to put some pressure on this Magnezone, because Magnezone is fairly glassy. And then he switches into Dragonite to not have the Dragonite go up against the Lapras later in the game. And here we can see how strong Alolan Muk is as a safe switch, because I deal a lot of damage to this Dragonite and put it very low. But I also either get the switch advantage or the shield advantage. And my opponent decides to give me the shield advantage, and then I can farm down to also have the energy advantage with Lapras. And he switches into his Venusaur, so this is great, because now I can force his last shield, and then Machamp will be able to defeat his 2 last Pokemon with 2-0 shield advantage. And my Lapras had too much HP for him to farm down, so he was forced to throw a charge move there, and at this point Machamp will be able to finish the Magnezone and Venusaur. And note that even though he's fairly far from a charge move, and I just need one more counter to take him down, I go for the cross chop just to be safe, and this is a good habit to have, since you feel so stupid when you have a charge move ready and you don't expect your opponent to have a charge move ready, but then they have and you lose, even though you had an easy win. Next up in game number 3 is a game against Beanex, and he leads with Shadow Dragonite, so this is possibly the best lead I can ever get, and he switches into Lapras, so I counter switch into Machamp. And one thing to note with Machamp is that even though Cross Chop has Stab, Rock Slide is the more energy efficient move. So I go for the Rock Slide in this position, since a Cross Chop wouldn't have KO'd, but a Rock Slide would. So in that way I don't have to take another Surf. So now I'm in a super good position, because I resist these Razor Leafs, and I just shield this, because where else would I put the shields? The Dragonite is already as good as dead against the Lapras. So yeah, this game is already over. I will farm down all the way and then go for 2 Ice Beams to take out this Shadow Victory Bell. I love to see these unique teams, and I hope he has success with it, but this time the teams were just lined up to my favor. Next up is a game against Ponjuice, and he leads with Gallade against my Lapras. And this is not a matchup that I like playing, no matter which side I am, because it's very lag dependent and kind of bait dependent, since close combat can one-shot you at any time. So I don't like to play this matchup at all, but I'm going to use one shield since I'm already at a second surf, and due to my poor timing of the charge move, I let myself get piggybacked. So now he's done 9 confusions, and he has back-to-back Leaf Blades, so there's no reason for me to shield that second one, and then I can absorb the second one with Alolan Muk instead and have a small energy advantage. Then he goes into Empoleon, and I immediately switch to Machamp, and he switches to his own Alolan Muk. And now I don't really know if I need 1 Cross Chop and 1 Rock Slide, or 2 Cross Chops to defeat this Alolan Muk. So I will start by doing 1 Cross Chop to see how much it deals, and it seems like another one will be enough. So I reach my second that connects just before he reaches his Sludge Wave. And then from here the Machamp will be able to finish the game by just barely surviving the Hydro Cannon. And now my phone battery is at 2%, so I'm not going to play the 5th game right now, but I will play it the next morning instead. In the last game of the set, I go up against Oyu, and she leads with Abomasnow, which is an interesting matchup since I double resist all of the Ice-type moves, but then the Energy Ball deals a big chunk of damage to Lapras. So I tried to catch the Energy Ball with Alolan Muk, but I'm in the middle of a fast move animation, so I can't do that. And then I tried to do it again, but maybe my opponent anticipated it, so she saves the energy on Abomasnow and switches into Poliwrath. But this is also very good for me, even if I didn't manage to catch the Energy Ball, since now my Lapras won't have to face the Poliwrath. And also with a slight energy advantage, I'm quicker to 2 charge moves. So now I have the shield advantage and I have switch advantage, but the Abomasnow has a ton of energy. So I will be able to fast move down this Abomasnow with Machamp, but I will also have to use both of my shields to do so. But then I have a great energy advantage against his last Pokemon. And Lapras is still alive and with some energy. Not that much, but plenty against this Drifblim. So the Rock Slide connects, and then I have no reason to go for Ice Beam, so I just fire the Surf straight away. And this Shadow Ball will take out Lapras, but I'm so close to a second Rock Slide, so there is no point really in going for Cross Chop here, since it's triple resisted, and that would maybe not be enough to KO the Drifblim. So that's it for the 5-0 run with this team, and I'm on a 6-game win streak, so next I will show you how this win streak ended. Next I will show you game number 7 of the win streak against Ethan and Mule, and I will play this in regular speed since a weird glitch happens, and it is that all of my fast moves for the entire game is taking 1 turn too long to make. So now when I use my 5th Ice Shard, my opponent is already at a close combat, which I shield in the last second, and then they switch into Lapras, so I counter switch into my Machamp. But if you look closely here now after this charge, you will see that all of my counters are taking 3 turns instead of 2. And this is the 4th time that I get this glitch in the last few days. So I know that this glitch will it will keep on going the entire game, and a game like this is pretty much impossible to win. So what I do now is I just quit quickly and try to restart, and hopefully a double shielded Alolan Muk will be able to finish the game. Now I will speed it up a little again, but sadly it counts as a loss when I came back in. So sadly the win streak ended right there, but Then I went on to win another 5 in a row, so essentially the win streak was 11 if you don't count the lag loss. But I'm not going to show all of those games, but I will show one game against JFarmakis, because I thought it was a great game. So I lose the lead against Obstagoon, but when I set switch it seems like he's staying in, and I'm totally okay with this since the night slashes are resisted. So I will overcharge a lot of energy in case he switches, and then he goes into his own Alolan Muk. So now I'm at 100 energy, and this Dark Pulse was probably not the correct choice, since Sludge Wave deals more damage per energy. But it's okay, because now I can switch, and his switch timer is not up yet, since he stayed in with the Obstagoon. So now I will at least get some value of Lapras. And then I use 3 more Ice Shards and go for the Surf to KO this Alolan Muk before he reaches another Charge move. And then I will just expect to be farmed down by the Obstagoon. But he even shields, probably because he has seen my Alolan Muk and thinks that he might have great matchups. But then I have my Machamp, which is a very hard counter to Obstagoon, and he switches into Venusaur. So Machamp can actually beat Venusaur with some extra energy and a 2-1 shield advantage. So I will go straight for the Rock Slides, and then I will also try to catch this Frenzy Plant, and I succeed, which means that even if the Obstagoon in the back can reach 1 charge move against Machamp, it's not going to be enough to KO Machamp. So there was just a bonus game, which I found interesting. Thanks for watching.